All right, well. Deep breaths. I have something to say. Got something to say to the world. Algorithms are a product of late-stage capitalism, I think. Let's trace back to the root idea of capitalism, the economic system in which we operate in a form of survival through capital gain, thus creates a narrative, a meta, a reality where the proprietization, I don't know if that's the correct word, to own things is valuable. To own land. Nestle's trying to own water. Nestle does own water. Nestle is a really interesting example of that. That's actually like a perverted-ass late-stage capitalism thing. And I think another perverted-ass late-stage capitalism thing is the monetization of our attention. It's the proprietization, if I'm using that word correctly, of our time, our brains, our minds. Entertainment is our attention. And somebody found out that that would be a really great thing to make money off of. The core concept is how can we get people's attention so we can make money? How can we continue to capture that? Thus, the birth of a product that is designed to do that. That is the world that our art and that our work and that our creation, that's the platform, the place that our work and life are existing in today. The platform in which we're standing on is birthed by the monetization of attention. I hope something positive to note here is that there are artists there, and there are people with different motivations that exist that don't want that want something else. And I know I'm one of them. I don't want that at all either. That's a bummer. Okay, ethicality of algorithms. I need you to switch the thing now. At its purest, algorithms are a neat avenue towards discovery. I would not have found a lot of the cool shit that I listen to, watch, love, has changed my life if I wasn't on these platforms. Sad World popped into my feed fucking randomly off of a collaboration with iDubbbz, and I love their shit so much. I made 2 beat tapes that are literally copying them. JPEG Mafia came across my feed on TikTok. Somebody was just promoting his music. Some white boy was dancing in his room to his most recent album, LP. I devoured that. And then when I found LP offline, I devoured that. That shit made college bearable. And that's fucking life-changing. Thank you, TikTok. But truthfully, algorithms have taken discovery and run it into the ground. There's no such thing as discovery if the nature of your participation in art is purely consumption. There's nothing that holds any weight. I think on the ethical side of things, which has been brought to a lot of people's attention politically, what are you ingesting? What are you receiving? I'm going to literally read this verbatim. We are listening to millions of different human beings with different ideologies in a clump of our interests. As curated as our content gets, we are likely receiving antithetical thoughts with the guise of unified opinion. All the time. All the time. Quote Kirby Groves. This form of engagement saps the life out of our engagement. I'm not here to be here. I'm not here to be invited into any sort of space. I'm actually here to check out. I'm here to not be around. Okay, another read one. Almost as if the conglomerate greed behind the systems in our pockets are not looking out for us. Like their goal isn't for us to live full lives, but to design a product to make money. I did watch Inside by Bo Burnham on Netflix just now. And clearly there are a lot of things that I'm literally taking from his messaging in the most direct way possible. Fucking throw up another projection. The world currently revolves around this form of entertainment. The internet is not a bad place, but the systems on the internet, I feel, take so much away from me. I know a lot of us feel its effects. It's a well-worn conversation. We're all having it on algorithmic platforms, which feels really antithetical. I think as a creative person and as just a human being, I just want to get off. I just want to go. a lot. I really want to not be here anymore. Notice how most of the art produced that does well is content engineered. People who do well in the system engineer their creative goals towards attention and monetary gain. Case in point, quantity as a major measurement. The nature of quality has to bend to the production speed in order to succeed, in order to be heard, in order to be seen, in order for your art to thrive, in order to make money, in order people who don't like creativity exists, and it finds its avenue, and it's finding its avenue that way, and people with that creativity are thriving, and people with other forms of creativity are not thriving, and that's is the nature of this space. And to me, it feels soul sucking, and maybe I feel, I don't know, I'm just noticing people who have deep, prophetic, careful thought, engaged in quality, engaged in something that they've been sitting on for long periods of time. And man, animators are the aesthetic version of this. People who painstakingly pour larger amounts of time into shorter projects are not succeeding. That's shown in animations. Animators need teams in order for that shit to work content-wise. I mean, that's a bummer. That's a bummer that I can slide through my shit and see something that somebody devoted a lot of time to, and then I can see, what'll I see? I'll see somebody rolling a bottle down the stairs. Also awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. It thrives for a reason. I hope that I'm not identifying any form of creativity as lesser, but those who care about forms of work that need time are not able to sustain themselves in this economy without giving an arm and a leg of their time and life and energy and care to fucking YouTube shorts. I am not anti-bottle video guy. I am not anti-bottle video. I want bottle video to have just as much space as I do animators who get their shit ripped and posted everywhere without their consent, and it gets gajillion views on short form content. That is what I'm against. Algorithmic platforms. Fuck that shit. Ideologies antithetical to algorithmic platforms do exist. If art isn't inherently capitalism, what is it? What could it be? What are the opportunities here? What is art? Fuck. I literally had that. And then it's like the next one right after.
Really?
Art isn't inherently productivity and accomplishment. Art isn't inherently a career or attention. Art gets to be something else. It gets to be deeper. It gets to be simpler. It gets to be complicated. It gets to be the human experience. It's art. I don't know. We've done it for a while. this press? Wait, what? This is no. Down lower on that. Okay, piano shot. So close. I had the one note. Oh, fuck. You can find me on Patreon, bitches. Gotcha! This was a Patreon video the whole fucking time. Jack Conte, the creator of Patreon, is stepping into a kind of economy that is supported by art and the creators who make it. And while I'd like to hold my work as completely independent from money, I'm 23 now. I work an actual job and I get paychecks, and I'm going to be an adult if I'm not one already. I've got a lot in my heart and soul that I want to pour my life into. In my dreams, I have time and resource to create. The world will be able to see Kirby do that in the way that Kirby does that, contributing to projects, working on his own projects, speaking in the first person. When you support an artist with your money, you are not just getting what they give you for that money. You are a part of making something that doesn't exist yet. You are part of giving them the time and resource to put something awesome out into the world. I am a part of making things that don't exist yet. My favorite producer of all time made a Patreon recently. His name is Virtual Riot. Have you heard of him? Probably from me. One of my favorite artists of all time ever. So insanely impactful. Like, life-changing levels of impactful for me. And in the bio on his Patreon, it says that he has enough financial support that he will have the opportunity to make his magnum opus. And that makes me want to cry. Because I want to hear that so bad. So bad. What a waste if this insanely capable, talented person didn't get to do that. The world would be lesser for that. And when you support someone, you are breathing life into things that don't exist yet, that will change your life, or that are fucking cool. It's awesome. The requirement of support has nearly always been a part of the story for artists. The only time that art really became, profitable was recorded media. The only time that music really became profitable was recorded media. I think. I don't know if I'm speaking out of my ass here. Artists lived that life. There wasn't profit out of that. Researching Kirby, who edits this, go ahead and put a blurb from Wikipedia up on there that either proves or disproves my point. If we are what we seek, then I think Patreon could be a very valuable space for artists on the internet. The philosophy of the platform has not been attention-focused, creating communities for creators, not communities for algorithms. It's surrounding the artist, not necessarily the viewer. Art in this vein is a way to explore, not to just receive. I have a lot of thoughts about the logistical direction that Patreon could go regarding the curation of communities, but that is a separate conversation. Quite possibly, Patreon could be the future home base when we're all sick of being fed and we want to go eat. My plan for Patreon is actively evolving, even as I speak about it right now. But just know that my work is yours if you go there. You can have it. And probably a lot more. Exclusives, probably early shit. I don't know. Maybe stuff I make at 3 a.m, but not without care. That space does and will mean something very important to me. You can still catch me everywhere. I am going to learn how to have a better relationship with all that, but that ain't it, Chief. That is not where you'll find me. It is a personal dream to be able to make the best things that I can make, regardless of my or its success, independent from that. That would be great. Oy. Go support creative people, and if I'm one of those people, I'm honored. I have a lot in me that doesn't exist yet out in the world. And boy, would I be excited to do that. That'd be pretty great. So, yeah, okay. All right. I think that's it.
Today is the most important day in Patreon's 10-year history as a company.
I want to get a better projection. This one cost me $10.
I love the vibe.
$10.
I love the vibe.
10? Are you kidding me? $10? That's fucking crazy. Oh man, I'm almost out of